society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
I think a new world order is emerging.
An inside job? How dare you? How dare you?
To create, so to say, mass-produced models of human beings arranged in some kind of a scientific caste system.
We shall go on to the end. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall never surrender.
Good day, everybody. It's the 19th of December, 2015. This is UCY.tv with the Solvinur Event. I'm your host, Walter, coming to you from the Netherlands, where it's 4 p.m. That means it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you go to UCY.tv, there's a chat link there. And I'm trying to figure out who's here. But the chat seems to be kind of slow or dead. I don't know what it is. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm assuming that's still the case. I know from previous posts that Otto is there, Hawk, JJ, Logan, welcome everybody. Lone Frog, what's up? So let me just refresh this, maybe that will help. It's kind of strange because I'm having trouble accessing other websites as well. And other websites are just perfectly normal. So, alright, chat doesn't seem to be connecting. Alright, so we'll have to do without then. I hope you have something to drink and if you smoke, something to smoke. Let's roll on myself here. And a couple of different things we could go into today. Unfortunately, like I said, some pages don't work for me at the moment. And one of them is the WebBrain, so can't make use of that fabulous tool at the moment. Let me check again if it's still not loading. Here. Let's see what it does. I've one thing I want to do for sure, but that won't take long. Okay, so brain's still not working. One thing that I'm for sure going to do is dig a little deeper into what metaphysics actually is. So that's one thing. Another possible thing is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights we could dig into a little. And hermetics and some text I have here. And my plan was to just go start reading it and let you guys figure out who it is. You know, and give kind of like UCY points for guessing it right. It's old Greek text, I think Greek. Yeah, I don't read Greek, but it looks like Greek. It's from a book where the left pages are in Greek and the right pages are in English. Or like I said, I think that's Greek. Yeah. I really don't know. Of course I know this is a translation into English, and of course I know who it's translated from, but I don't even know where he was born or anything. I just know his name. Right, so those are a couple of things we could get into. Let's see. Click to connect. Maybe this one will work. Let's see what we can do here. I'm trying to connect to the chat because I want you guys to let me know if there's anything I named. If you want to hear about that. So, let's see. Were there any other things that I had open? Nope. Still not connecting to the chat. Okay, that's not so nice. If you want to be on air, that's possible also. Alright, so hermeticism I named, right? And you can do that by adding me to the Skype. And if I'm on your list, just send me a message and I'll get that and I'll drag you on air, because that's really also for you guys, right? Let everybody speak. So this is your opportunity. We've got about 2 hours minus 5 minutes or so. It's space for you guys, for everybody that wants to be on air. And there's not that many people listening, so, so I remember first time calling into a radio station, that I was like, oh, but so many people are gonna hear me, and you get this what we in Dutch call drempelvrees. It's a kind of anxiety or fear that you have to get over. And so the less people listen, the less fearful it seems to be. Anyway, so that's what you can do. Contact me at Skype. Solvinur, Solvinur. And that will get you in the radio event. I don't know, Vince, if you're listening, but if you are, or anybody else on Skype can tell me that I'm actually being heard, that would be nice, because I'm not exactly sure about that. And this actually ties to digging a little bit deeper into metaphysics. Can you be sure of what is? Or what exists? That's one of the things. Right, so metaphysics is one branch, and the most important branch, maybe important is the wrong word, it's the most basic branch of philosophy. And the question as to why it's called metaphysics has arisen some controversy. I remember speaking about it once before, and I don't speak Latin or whatever. Metaphysics is probably Greek also. I don't speak it, so meta, I didn't know that is after. But so it would be after the physics, but that could be only because these were the books that were behind or after the books about physics from Aristotle, if I'm correct. Yes. It's a confused name sometimes. Remember that. But that's kind of strange then, because the metaphysics asks the more basic questions than physicists do. So you would say metaphysics is before physics. even though meta means after, because it asks the more basic questions, and if you have an answer on that, then physicists can use that to make new discoveries, for instance. So metaphysics is the study of the ultimate nature of reality. And yeah, that's in itself could be turned into a question, right? And so there's 5 points here, apparently. Questions about whether there are fundamental parts out of which everything else is made. All right, so this is, you can find this back in pre-Socratic philosophers. That thought, one of them thought that water was the prime substance out of which everything else is made, and others thought that air, and others thought it was fire. None of them thought it was earth, by the way. But those are basically the fundamental elements as described in the Bhagavad Gita: earth, water, fire, air, ether, and the three more subtle energies, as they call them, or subtle matter, as it is called: mind, intelligence, and ego. And so of those 8 elementals, as they are known in Indian philosophy, at least 3 of them come back in the pre-Socratic philosophies. All right, so and this is, of course, the question arises, where did these Greek philosophies get their ideas about these elementals from? All right, so next is about the fundamental parts of which everything is made. The first one, questions about whether there are fundamental parts out of which everything else is made. There's also atomists, for instance, about at the ending of the pre-Socratic, I think. Okay. Thank you. That's awesome. At least I know I can be heard. Can't get into chat. Well, if you go to Real Liberty Media, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. We should have a World Truth emergency chat in case Chatango breaks down, like it does apparently for more people. Is that possible? A World Truth emergency chat? Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning, Walter.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, brother. I guess it's this not localized to you or anybody else. I'm sorry. I'm going to put my headphones on here unless
Sure.
Audio's okay. Yeah, I can't get back to chat. Skype's been giving some problems. I've been on with a few people this morning, and I'm not sure what the problem is, but it's not localized to Tango or anything else. So there's been a few issues here. It looks between like Skype and Chitango is the 2 places I've had a problem.
Oh, I've got it with the brain, the webbrain.com. It's not working.
I think there's problems. So
and last time also with World Truth, it was down for a couple of days, or
yeah, but that's a separate issue. I'm going to try to get back into chat now. I did a restart, so let me see if I can get into UCY chat.
Yeah.
Let me unplug here and mute up just for a minute, and
Sure.
let me go. I'm going to go flip my eggs.
Go ahead, man. So yeah, are there strange things happening with the internet? Probably not. It's probably personal technical problems or whatever. Alright, so where were we? The questions about metaphysics. Where's the tab that I need? Here it is. So the elemental pre-Socratics are followed up by the atomists, which come up with the idea that there must be some basic small part that you can't see with the eye, of which there are an infinite number and in infinite forms, and they can cling on to each other because of their different forms and create everything that we see. So I'm not sure how they got to this idea, but it's a pretty good idea. I mean, it's basically still what's happening today when people in deeltjesversnellers, what's that op English? Particle accelerators. Try to find out, so what are the basic, smallest elements that you can't divide? Right, so that's the fundamental parts that you can't divide any further. That's why they were called atomists, because in Greek, I think, atom means a is not, and tom is divide, so not divisible, right? Alright, so the atomists also introduce a idea about the void, in which these atoms move from one place to another, because in the pre-Socratics there was Xenos, I believe his name was, who came up with a couple of paradoxes in which he claims that movement was impossible, and there were a couple of basic fundamental ideas tied to that, namely that there was the question before Xenos made up these things that seem to contradict each other, that there is a thing in philosophy you can go to, and those are the things that are, and you cannot go into the things that are not, because they simply don't exist. And this was known as the third possible way, which would be the most dangerous one, because now I'm mistaking now. Those were the two ways, and there is a third possible way, right? So there's two ways you can go to when looking at reality, things that don't exist or things that exist, right? And since there's nothing you can say about things that don't exist, he went with the way that things exist. And then there is a third possible way in which you say, well, things can exist and not exist at the same time. And that's what actually happens with the atomists, because they say that there is a void and that doesn't exist. Right? The void, there's nothing there, right? So it's basically it's non-existence. So what they're doing is placing something that does exist according to them, like the smallest part or the atom, into something that doesn't exist, and that seems contradictory, right? So far the prehistory of metaphysics. Well, it's not prehistory. It's pre-Socratic, actually. So the second point is reality completely physical, or is there a non-physical aspect? Right. So there are these scientists known as materialists. I don't know if that's the case still today. I don't keep up with all of that, but they think that something like the mind, for instance, is somehow created by the brain via chemical reactions and things like that. Right? So that everything that we can see is caused by matter. Right? So, and they think that all of reality is like that. Right? So is reality completely physical, or is there a non-physical aspect? Right? So you need a real good definition about what is physical or not. Then what is the nature of causation? Right? Also in the pre-Socratics there was, I think it was in the pre-Socratics even, if not then later, there is a, yeah, it must have been later, much later even. There is these questions arising about cause and effect, and some of the philosophers have claimed that there's nothing you can point to that would make it necessary for the effect to occur from a certain cause. And they do seem to have a point there, however, it can be refuted. Not exactly sure how, but these are the things that I picked up from what I told you last week. Found this page with introductory to philosophy. That's where I get this from. All right, so next one is, are any actions free or determined? Not any. These are more personal questions. Right? This also belongs to epistemology, but is also included into metaphysics. Right? Are my actions free or determined? Right, that's a difficult topic. I'm not a determinist myself. I don't think that everything is determined. I think that some of the things you could arguably say are determined, but certainly not all. And I'm a proponent for actions being free, because we can choose to act or not. All right. Then the last one here is, under the branch of metaphysics, is what exists. Apparently that's also known as ontology. What does it mean to exist? That's a more deeper question also. What does it mean to exist? I saw this video, I think it was Stefan, and Vince will know isn't the last name. You guys know how bad I am with names, right? And he made a good point there about how not amazed we are. We take things for granted. And he named a couple of... hey, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, is Stephen Molyneux?
No. I think that it is the same person that introduced nonviolent communication?
Stefanik?
Stefanik. Yes, Christopher Stefanik. See, I get
Yeah.
names confused. Yeah. You made a good video about amazement, and you got a couple of good examples of what reality is like and how amazing that really is. But we just, seem to take it for granted. And I thought
I got Daryl Becker coming on with me Wednesday.
Daryl Baxter.
Becker, yeah,
Daryl Becker. Yes.
Voluntary Visions. So listen, I've thrown out nonviolent communication as my means for today. So I have a post over here on World Truth, and it may be really relative to topic today. So when you have a point, maybe we can break it down. I told them in the thread there, and I posted that you're on. I tagged you at World Truth in the thread as well. So I don't know if you can get in there, or if you'd like to look at it. Or,
well, I'm reloading as we speak.
So this is a creationist evolutionist argument, and I think I made some points here, especially about I can be an asshole and not use nonviolent. I can use nonviolent communication as well as practice the art of trying to convey information easily. But we're all human. I guess what I should do is put my mic on here. Might have a little better quality. Let me mute up for a minute, and I'll let you get to a point, and when you're ready, bring me back in, and let's go through this and discuss this, Walter.
Yeah, let's do that now. It's okay. We can do it now. I finished what I wanted to say about metaphysics.
Well, I mean, in a sense, this is kind of metaphysics in a way, because, and as you'll see in some of my comment here, I think evolutionists require, if not as much, I think if not more, at least as much faith as a creationist. So I'm going to read this. David, I really like David. We stand on opposite sides as far as creation and evolution, but I really like David because he makes me think. He does use a lot of, let me say, he's not a trivium user at times. He uses a lot of fallacies, okay, but that's okay because it adds to my learning.
How do I find this? I'm at World Truth, and then where?
World Truth. This is where I'm on at now, and I tagged you in the post there to my timeline and to the comments. I'll tell you what I can do. I'll make this easy. I'll grab this right here. I'll copy. I'll bring it to you on Skype, and I'll put it in comment. And you can come to that.
It's under notifications, right?
Well, click that link I just dropped you in the Skype chat.
Okay.
And you get right to it. You'll come right to the thread.
All right.
So David says one of the arguments creationists love to bring up is that evolution is a lie because we can't see it happening in real time. We can try to explain that natural selection occurs over many generations and long time scales, but they can't handle that sort of nuisance. Logical fallacy. Here, thankfully, there are actually plenty of examples of evolution occurring within a lifetime, and this PBS video explains one of them. I'm going to click that in my snarky voice, and I'll bring that back to. I can't get into chat, so I'll bring it back anyways, just for you here in Skype. But I don't know that we need to look at it. For me, I find that just the statements involved here, trying to lend if I can say it, credibility instead. I was going to say credulity. I can't say it. Okay, because I have a permanent tongue tie effect. Chuck O'Chelly. All right. So, anyways, there it is. Here we have seen evolution happen, or have we? Or I contend it's merely variation of species. And what it is, it's a crickets. They ain't saying shit. Silent crickets. No, maybe they're grasshoppers. But they're showing a wing of a serration, and a non-serrated wing. And this is supposed to be an indication of genetic mutation that is beneficial towards the evolution of the species. Well, I contend that that is not wrong. That it is wrong. All right, let me get down. I'll pass all these comments and I'll come to mine. Oh, but I'll stop here along the way to say thank you, David. Well, I passed it. Okay, here we go. So I call that a variation of species. There's not a mechanism to add new information to genetic code, as far as I've seen, from anywhere except by genetic modification by gene slicing, or splicing, I should have said. And that means an intelligence behind the operation. Now, you can stop me at any time and tell me anytime I'm using a logical fallacy. So, and I said in this post right here that I'm going to be on with you right now. We're going to talk about this, and I don't expect. I forget what I said. Something about you're not here. You won't be here. You'll be condemning anything I say wrong. So, and for that I'm appreciative. Okay, so David responds. The mechanism is the mutation of the gene. No, it doesn't make sense, does that? No. And does, in a sense, it does add new information. Where are you getting the new information from? From a failed transmission of information. There's not new information, there's less information. Continuing, he says, the constant mutations that evolved our common primate ancestors' brains, and you should have used an apostrophe S there, David, and bodies, and I'm really bad about punctuation, so pot and kettle.
You punctuation in this list.
So he says the common primate ancestors' brain and bodies evolved. They did over thousands of years. Yeah. Okay, you're making an assumption there. You're appealing to authority by saying this over thousands of years or even millions of years. But anyways, developed a brain that is able to hold concepts. Oh, I can't wait to get a little further down the line to my non-violent communication for this to somebody else, that is. Because I got nothing but praise for David. I don't care if we agree or disagree. That's not the point. The point is that we examine information and assimilate it unto ourselves and be able to go from our grammar to our logic and be able to have wisdom in our rhetorical response. The constant mutations and carrying on. What is after all, and what can be done by slicing that intelligence, but and he said slicing too, but I think we both should have said saying splicing. But just because we can use the intelligence to modify genes does not mean there's a supernatural intelligent designer for life. Okay, well,
what?
Yes, that is correct. And if I said responded in a negative, I think I'd be using a logical fallacy and appealing to what?
I'm not sure I agree with the just because argument.
Yeah, not just because part, but if I said that, if I say yes, there is an intelligent designer, then I don't have any proof of that. All I can do is go through all the information, all the logic that I have studied over a great many. Oh, I can't wait to get down to the bottom of this.
Relax.
Fuck you, cause. Okay. Our ignorance is our intelligent designer. What we know is science, he says, David. There are many things in nature that shows how unintelligent the design of some characteristics are. Anything but intelligent, like residual organs. That is not correct. Residual organs are not residual.
Well, this all depends how you define intelligence in intelligent design.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he says residual organs like appendixes or tailbones. Okay, and a tailbone is not an appendage. Or the fact that humans have the same pipe for food, air, and consequently choke more frequently than most vertebrates do.
Look, there's another thing, right? There is no contradiction in holding both views at the same time. Did you know that?
Yeah, supposedly, but...
Well, there could be a God who has created the universe in which an evolutionary process takes place. You
Well,
see? I
I
don't
would
see a
contend that-
problem with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I understand that, Walter, but I'm going to contend that that's not even true because there is no evolution, but de-evolution. We're devolving, we're not evolving, and that is science.
Ah, so, but if there is such a thing as de-evolution, what's the opposite of that then?
The opposite, of course, would be we are gaining new information and moving upward in this cycle of life. Instead, we're experiencing entropy and we're in a decline, so therefore we are devolving.
Huh. Interesting idea. We'll need to discuss this further at some point.
Let me swallow this. About a huevos con tortillas.
¿Qué?
I'm going to chase it down with a couple swigs of coffee here,
Sure, buddy.
and then we'll grab a ciggy. So, my response there is mutation may well be a factor in change, but never, caps lock, a beneficial one. In fact, it has been shown to always be detrimental to the organism. The adding of information without an external source violates the second law of entropy or thermodynamics. And then I went and did a little looking around, see what scientists had to say about this. Scientists, quotation marks. Streptomycin beneficial mutation is contended to be the exception to the rule of mutations being beneficial. But upon looking at that, I will contend this to be false as well, as it is quite apparent that the virus, damn, I had to close everything and restart it. Now I can't go back to that. But the bacteria fits well into, it's like a key. It fits like a key as it inserts itself in there.
Yeah.
So I contend that the streptomycin as a beneficial mutation is not correct either. Okay, now here we go. My favorite part of the whole freaking conversation, or should I say curse-versation, server guy. So I find out is Cozumel, the coder. So I hope you don't go screwing my shit up over here because I pissed you off and called you very much some non-violent communication methods and interpretations here. So he says, you're not that smart, are you? And then, of course, if you add an LOL behind that, that makes it okay to say, right? He goes on to say, I mean, I know David's not exactly the sharpest cookie in the box. Cookies, sharp cookies. I don't even know that there was such a thing. I've heard of Oreos and sharp tools in the shed, but anyways. So, but man, he's years ahead of you in this conversation. Where do you make this assertion at? How do you know how much I know? Because I've spent 20 years in examining, more than 20 years. I'd say closer to 30, examining the difference between evolution and creation. So, I don't know, maybe David and I are the same age. Maybe we started at the same time. Or maybe we didn't learn at the same rate. Obviously not, because I'm light years ahead of both of y'all. Now, how do you like that for non-violent communication? And here we go with my best one yet. Fuck you very much, asswipe. Ann Hobbleman is my favorite response to an answered question. But I am grateful to David for making me think more. By the way, NVC is off for the day, smart guy. How you like me now? There was a period when Neanderthals and modern humans coexisted. Well, that's not correct either, because Neanderthals and modern humans existed. They were modern at the time, as were Neanderthals, modern at contemporaneously at the same time. So that, Tony, is not a factual statement, because Neanderthals and humans, or Neanderthals were humans. This is science. It's conceded by mainstream science as well. But I'm stupid and light years behind, right? All right. So yeah. Obviously, I'm a little pissed off. I feel somewhat insulted. Normally, I would not respond in such manner, but hey, NVC is out the door today. Fuck y'all. Here you go, server guy. There's not a mechanism to add new information to genetic code. Oh, and this is really good because we get a meme. And then I was like, bro, do you even science? Yeah, fuck you, Degrassi and fucking Bill Nye. Cocksuckers, you. Oh. Am I being violent in my communications? It's pretty basic, he says. Study epigenetic regulation of gene expression. It's pretty basic stuff, and it's ongoing field. And to put it in terms that even I can understand, there's most definitely is a mechanism to add new information to the genetic code. Bullshit. Bow and worship at the altar of pseudoscience. Oh ye, or oh yay, of great faith, huh? Okay, so server guy says, let's break it down even simpler for you, LOL, because I'm an idiot. Adding new information is basically evolution in a nutshell. If it couldn't happen, we wouldn't have evolved. Perfect. Thank you. You have proven my point. It couldn't have happened. Bam, you said it yourself, smart guy. All life evolved from a single cell, a rock. Before that, and in the beginning, nothing. Now that's faith. That's what I said. All right, Tony. Let's see what Tony said, because I say bravo to him. Tony says the problem I see with both creationists and evolutionists is that many spend a lot of time attacking each other rather than standing back and trying to look at the whole picture, which I think I do, which I think David does a fair job at doing. And I don't come over here to attack David. I come over to conversate with him, and I do poorly with the tips of my fingers. So here it is in my voice for you guys. And if you're not listening now, you'll be listening when you hear this, because I'll post it down in here for the archive where you can come back. So, continuing, Tony. Attacking each other back and trying to look at the whole picture. Okay. What if evolution was created? Think of a science experiment that once started may need the occasional adjustment. Some speak of the laws of nature. Well, laws are the product of intelligence, and that includes mechanisms which are part of evolution. Look at our physical body. Not a bad design at all if we only take care of it. I imagine universal consciousness and intelligence outside the confines of time and space. In the beginning, there was thought. Bravo, I said. I like it. So here I got, Tony's listening. Right on, Tony. I like that. So I say, Tony's over at World Truth. And I say tune into World Truth, Real Liberty Media, Channel 24 now for discussion on this. By the way, Walter will not be confirming my thoughts on this, but no doubt he'll show me where I'm wrong. That's why I like you.
Well, I try.
All right. Now, would you like to break it down where I've made my mistakes?
Well, it all went so fast, that the only thing that came to mind was like 10 minutes ago or so. But this is obviously a discussion about evolution or creationism, right?
Yes, sir.
And are you belonging to one of those? Do you confer to one of these ideas?
Which one would you suppose, if I were to ask you by my comment? Well, I'm obviously pretty.
I'm thinking you are leaning more towards the creationist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think evolution requires a lot more faith. All right, let me break it down like this. In the beginning, there was nothing. And nothing exploded and created everything. That's the bottom line of evolution.
Yeah, but isn't that the same? Hold on. Isn't that the same what the Bible says?
Yes, sir, you're right.
In the beginning was the void.
Exactly. Yes,
so,
right. But outside of that existed an eternal. And let me try to. I won't even try to shoot.
Yeah, and no. Wait a minute. Before we even continue further, right? Let's talk about this first word that you used in the beginning. Right? Can we do that?
Absolutely. And let me unplug for one moment. I was
Sure.
I plugged up here, hooked up. I'm grabbing my other tortilla con huevos. Hold on.
Yeah. All right.
I'm back, but let me plug back in. All right.
Relax.
Break it
no
down,
worries.
Walter. Excuse me, sir.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm plugged back in. And I got something between my lips moving over here to actually chew on.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay, let's break it down then, you said.
Yeah,
Begin.
you started your argument with in the beginning, right?
Well, I don't argue and I don't debate. I'd like to think I'm a discussion, even though I'm not doing a good job of it today, because I'm just tired of people coming over here uninvited attacks upon me or friends of mine, because I'm the type of guy I like to beat up bullies, and sometimes a motherfucker would have a different attitude if he had a punch in the chops when trying to talk to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that was his statement in the beginning. But I will not. I would not. I think I'd choose the same terminology in the beginning. So, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Let's break it down then.
Okay, so but was there something before the beginning?
There would have to be, wouldn't there?
Okay, so then it isn't the beginning.
Well, the beginning of that which we know to be creation here, right?
The beginning of that which we know to be creation.
That which is. Let's put it that way.
The beginning of that which is. I say, but is there there's something that was before this? Is that not then? That is also, right?
Well, it would have to exist outside of the realms of reality that we exist in, right?
It would have to exist, but not in the realms that we exist in. All right. So there are two different realms.
Well, there would be. Let me back it up so that way you
Sure,
can
sure.
excuse me. Consider this. Let's go back to the first part about being the same in the beginning, creation or evolution. So in the beginning there was nothing, and nothing exploded and made everything. The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Or most evolutionists contend that this is true. Used to. Now go back through your history and look at the progression, the evolution of this thought, if you will.
Of what thought?
The primordial egg used to be, I think, if I can remember this all right. So if my exactness is wrong, then it don't mean I'm wrong. I'm just misstating information.
No, it's okay. Primordial egg is okay.
Okay. Originally, it was said to be light years across, and it got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it was the size of a dot at the end of a sentence. This is what scientists tell you. This isn't my words. This is what scientists say. And then they went one beyond that, beyond the dot, the tittle, the iota, of nada, nothing, nunca, yet. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Even smaller than a dot.
Well, yeah, scientists even say that a dot is nothing. And a dot makes up a line, which is nothing. And that the line makes a square, which is nothing. And that the square makes a cube, and that then exists for some strange reason.
Yeah.
So,
who's stupid? Who's stupid?
that's the kind of logic you got to deal with. It's amazing, isn't it?
Right. Call me stupid. Go ahead. Somebody else call me stupid. That I don't have any information. That I'm an idiot. I'm not a genius, but I'll guarantee you one thing.
Yeah.
I'm probably smarter than the majority of the people in the world, and I spend a lot of time looking at information, not in confirmation bias, but from as far left to far right. And that's why I think I'm the smartest person I know. And that is because I spend a lot of time listening, looking, reading, researching from people that are a whole lot more smarter than I. So there you have that part of it. Now,
Yeah,
let me
I
go
try
back.
to do that too, and sometimes I run into things and I'm like, whoa, this is way over my head, you know? It's unbelievable.
You bet you.
Yeah.
So, by the inflection of my voice,
So
you can probably tell.
we're at the
So,
point where there's nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did nothing come from? It couldn't come from somewhere if there was nothing. So
Yeah, that's
when
a
you break it
basic
all down, when you break it
problem
all,
that the pre-Socratics pointed out also. You know, they were trying to figure out, can you speak about being and non-being, right? And they thought that you cannot speak about non-being or nothing. You can't say anything about it because it doesn't exist. It's not part of reality, right? So if it's not part of reality, then everything is. They were coming to the conclusion. And also that everything is one, by the way.
well, this is my contention that what makes more sense? Nothing begat nothing, or something begat something. And if there is, okay, if you had an ant farm and that was contained, then that's the whole of their world,
But you
right?
still run into a problem there.
Okay.
The something begets something, okay. You know, I can get that. But where does the first something then come from?
There we come to the very fine point at the very end where we can go no further. Either they're where did the nothing come from, or where did God come from? So
Yeah.
I guess I beg the question to say that God is eternal and always existed. So
Yeah.
that's as far as I can go, and I realize that's a logic fallacy.
Well, I don't know if
Hey.
it is.
Okay.
I don't know if it is. You know, they have these axioms in philosophy, right? And I'm one of the people that say you should create your own philosophy, not that you should become a solipsist and think that you're the only person in the world, but you should make your own judgment when researching the history of philosophy as to which ideas seem plausible to you and which ideas do not seem plausible to you. And therefore, you know, if it seems plausible to you that God must exist, then okay, go with that axiom, right? Get yourself a good definition of what God exactly is and go work with it. You know, I don't think there's a problem with that. There are many philosophers that have done this in the past. I think most of them under pressure from the church. Because, you know, if they would say anything about reality that doesn't include God or excluded God, then you were seen as a heretic, of course, right?
Well, I'm definitely a heretic because I ain't got much love for religion. And if I called myself a Christian, then people would say, "Oh, look at this hypocrite saying fuck and shit and goddamn and all that stuff," right? I don't define myself as a Christian, but the closest comprehension of understanding of how I should proceed, and I don't always accomplish that, is by the teachings of Jesus Christ. There you go, appealing to authority again out of some book written by men. The basic contention there is that do no wrong or do no harm, right?
Yeah.
Harm not another person nor their property. That's theft. And I forgot who told me that, and I think it was right here on World Truth, but it's perfect. It is theft. Doing wrong, evil, sin is theft. It's stealing. I think it was Circline. Yes. My co-captain Flash in Denmark, his wife, Circline, wonderful people. I love you guys. And Flash and I are certainly diametrically opposed on many issues. But you know what? That doesn't cause any less respect for one another or us being able to be friends. Okay? So you don't have to think like I do, and you don't have to. I don't have to think like you do, in order to get along, right? Like David, like I said, we're way far diametrically opposed on this idea of evolution and creation. But you know what? I don't call him an idiot. I don't call him wrong. or anything else because that he and I have a different understanding. And again, big props to David because he's one of the person that I use for. I got litmus tests, and those come from people, and then I judge myself on how another person is thinking about what I'm saying or interpreting what I'm saying, or as they might contend differently than I do. So just because we don't agree doesn't mean I don't respect you or value your opinion. I do. But when you start out with "you're a fucking idiot," then that just means you're an idiot. Because you don't know how much I don't know, first of all. And I will admit that I am an idiot because there's a great deal that I do not know. But I'm probably smarter than you if you start out with "you're an idiot." So
Yeah.
go hack my account and then fuck you then, buddy. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed. And it started back because people don't like my Captain Flash because he's a Jew and all this and got a big nose and whatever. But he's not a practicing Jew. He's descended of Jewish ancestry. Does that make him evil? And me a goyim to him? Well, I own my own Jew. Flash. All right. D-Cheat what he says further in this post that's continuing to evolve as we speak. He says of the trillions and trillions of fruit flies that have been bred for experiments, not one case of evolution has been documented. Variations and deformities, yes, but not one case of them evolving. Same thing for lab rats. Yeah, you're a lab rat too. Not you, D. I'm talking about we are lab rats in this assault upon us. Yeah. So these mad scientists gone wrong. Thank you, Jules. And all that they are against us in, and all this spraying from the air, the poisoning of the food, the water, the radiation. Yeah, we're lab rats. We're these fruit flies. Do you see it benefiting us or being detrimental to our health? Okay, continuing. Yes, but not one case of them evolving. Same thing for lab rats, like I'm stating over again, and livestock. No case of someone breeding a creature and creating a total new kind of creature. Me thinks your evolution is either dead or non-existent. Now, just because when we see the revealed product creature of these mad scientists gone mad, does not mean that there's been an evolution. It means that they are like the devil and they're trying to kill life and recreate it in their own image. Yeah, that's what the devil is, and that's what the God is. I diametrically opposed to one another. One is what's right and one is what's wrong. The devil says, I am right and you should be able to do as you will. And that's what brings about death, because it is antithetical to all that is good and great. So departing from that, you go to all that is bad and wrong, and that is death. So if there's steps that one can take in this life to further life, which was in this post here at some point, that I read, I think, about things you can do to further and better your life, which, of course, would begin with diet. What you take into your body has the greatest effect out of anything, I think. So, for good or bad. Tony says, I suppose it can depend on one's understanding of the word evolution. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of evolutions, whether you're talking biological, of the stars cosmologically, micro, macro, okay? So evolution, by actual definitions, means stepping up. So actually, evolution does not occur. There is variation in species, genetic variation. There is mutations, isolation of gene pool. That's why we have different skin colors. That's why the Galapagos, there is all these different finch birds there. Isolation of gene pool, selective breeding. I read many years ago that a study on quail, that quail, when given the choice, chose a close cousin for breeding. Humankind, I'm going to click the cheat where it said something else, so I'll click that while I'm talking. Humankind not humans, but yeah, maybe humans, but mankind that generally is gravitated towards characteristics that they. Hey, there's a big announcement of some sort. They gravitate towards like kind. So, being a blue-eyed, a member of the blue-eyed master race that I am, just kidding. I would prefer a blue-eyed gal, right? I mean, according to this theory. But of course there is exceptions, and the world is so much bigger that there is a lot more of recombination of genetics in the breeding and passing on down in our offspring. All right, so if you can imagine dogs. Woof, woof. Oh, wait, here's my pirate dog. Arf, arf, arf. Little lighthearted side there. Okay, dogs. Yeah, there was a common ancestor, okay? Was it a wolf? Well, it may have been wolf-like, but not a wolf, certainly. All right, so all these dogs that exist are all dogs. They have a common ancestor. And you've got from Great Dane all the way down to Chihuahua, Mexico. Now, can you breed a Chihuahua back to a Great Dane and get back into the original? No. There's a lot of information that is lost. Right? Say again?
This is where entropy comes in, right?
Exactly. That's right. Now, do I sound like an idiot so far? I wish I could get in the chat because maybe somebody would tell me how big an idiot I am.
Well, I'm not sure I see the connection yet between entropy and degradation.
Well, that is. There's less available information available each time that there's information is transmitted. If I took a document,
what makes what if there is an infinite number of variations? Because I'm tying this back to our beginning, right? That where we said that God has always existed, right? That's the premise that we have, right? And God
I have
created.
To beg the question to say that.
Sorry?
I have to beg the question in making that statement.
I thought that was I gathered from the discussion or the talk we had about 20 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember? Because when we said was something has to come from something, right?
Yeah.
So where did that something come from? And then you said, well, there has to be something infinite.
Yes. But I assume that, right?
Yeah.
I'm begging the question when I state that. I don't have any emphatical proof to that.
No, but that's no problem. We can take that as a premise anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Doesn't matter if you can't prove that. You just make it your axiom. Right? So premise number one, God, by lack of a better term, is infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if that is true, then I would suggest that there is no end to our reality as well.
Okay.
I would say that this reality then is also infinite.
Well, that would be a philosophical statement.
Even if, let's say, as old Indians put it, there is a period where everything is destroyed, right? That's also coming back in the Bible in Revelations, right? Is that correct?
There's no book of Revelations in the Bible.
There is no book of Revelations in the Bible. Okay, I'm sorry, I was misinformed.
There is a book called the Book of Revelation of John, or the Apocalypto, which does not mean an end or
it doesn't.
Destruction. It means a revealing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what the Dutch translation also says. It says openbaring, which means that something is made to be known.
Yeah.
All right.
Most Christians don't even... Go ahead.
I thought that was, I remember this only from a child, right? This was a period where there was lots of fire and everything was destroyed. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well,
Or
first of all,
seven catastrophes or something. Anyway, the Indian philosophy goes that there is a ending at which the god Kalki appears and he destroys everything. And that would be the end of the universe, right? And then after a certain period of time, which apparently still exists for some reason, it comes back and everything starts over again. And so since the creator is infinite, all of his creations also keep coming back and is also infinite. And if this is an infinite universe, and which, by the way, many Greeks thought also, and which I tend to agree with, because I don't believe in something coming from nothing, but that makes me to conclude that that which exists has always existed and will never cease to be.
Okay.
It drives you to that conclusion. And if that's true, then, this universe that we live in might be infinite, and there might be an infinite possibility for genes to manifest themselves. Huh?
Well, first of all, I would say that the turn-in conversations devolved into the metaphysical from observable science. But I will go ahead and address that.
Yes, that's true. What you say.
Most Christians get their information about what the Bible says from the pulpit and have no actual idea what the Bible says. You ask any Christian what's the last book in the Bible, and they're probably going to say Revelations.
Hold on, buddy. One second. Did you get that chat in that link in the Skype?
Nope. I don't see nothing popped up. Wait a minute. Yeah, there's something there.
It's work. Let's see.
Is that from me or from you?
Yeah, there's a couple of people here. Yeah.
Oh, you're in chat now? You made it?
Well,
right,
maybe. I'm not sure. It needs to verify my email. Yeah.
We'll have a...
now I need to go to my email. keep where you were, so we can continue soon.
I only stopped the player. It's they're both trying to connect via a new port. Nope, I didn't get it on my Android.
Okay. Yeah, that always takes a bit longer, but this seems to work.
And I'm still trying to connect through the...
yeah?
I wonder if anybody's made it over to Real Liberty Media chat.
Yes.
Yes, sure. There is Hans Dietrich. Hey, if you guys can't get into Chatango, which I can't, I will invite you over to reallibertymedia.com.
Okay, guys.
You can join there into the chat room.
There's a no. Don't put them there. Put them here at the UCY lobby chat.
Yes, I'm going to bring you back to UCY. But in the meantime, and I'm going to go ahead and try to connect in to chat in this spot right here. So by going to Real Liberty Media Channel 24, you're not leaving UCY. You're going to Real Liberty Media and adding in also to UCY Channel 24, and it credits UCY.tv for the viewership, listenership, .tv. Everybody always says, why is it TV if it's radio? Well, that's a longer story and one that I'll digress at this moment. Hans, no, I got a couple more bites, but I'm smoking a cigarette, so I've set that down, and my buddy outside, Rebel Lee, will relish it without relish or condiments, except for a little bit of Tabasco sauce. And I can't get into UCY either.
Well, listen, what you do is you go to ucylobby.chatango.com.
Yes, Jules messaged me. She says she's got a chat. Great, thank you. Let me get that, Jules. Thank you very much.
UCY lobby.chatango.com. I think
that's correct.
Yes,
and I'm going to enter it there. Thank you, Jules.
So everybody, move over there.
Let me respond and type to that. all right, let me shut up for a minute so I can type.
Yeah, I also had that. I can't type and talk at the same time. I start saying what I'm typing. So. I'm sorry, I don't get that. Anyway,
Oh,
no, I'm
I
trying.
caps lock on. Sorry about that. I'm not yelling, Jules. Yes, I understand. Excuse me, but I was trying to bring it back in, and it's not. But anyways, ba-dum-bum.
Okay,
Let
some
me go
people
back.
have found it. Dan
Okay,
is
good.
here, and Jules, and Tomato, and you are there, and Anon37.
There, right. Yes.
See?
Hi, guys. All right, and we got messages coming in. Hi, there's Tomato, Miguel, Jules. So far as commented. Howdy. I was just trying to facilitate use of chat there, but so Jules to the rescue. Thank you. Don't forget to toast and beware of the evil Jew. He says, I thought he was going to say jelly. Okay, yeah, this is the alternate chat. And I think I'd made a link to this at one time. Thanks, Jules. So for some reason, our main chat is not responding. And all right, that was a message from Dan B. Cooper and Hans Dietrich. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. So anyways,
Yeah, where were we?
well, between breakfast and a cigarette. Okay, now back to the philosophics of this. Let's. Where do I leave off? Yeah, it's all subject to interpretation, first of all. So I'm not here to tell you that I'm right and you're wrong, that God exists, and but even though I am saying this, you're welcome to believe as you will. All right, but scientifically, evolution is an impossibility. Entropy, that's where we left off with the science part of it. Entropy, the second law of thermodynamics, says that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but is less available. So eventually you've got what that is, that entropy, that is heat death, and there is no more available transmission of anything. And that is also works the same. Somebody told me that's not the same as transference of information, but I contend that it is. If you take a document and copy that, and take a copy of the copy and a copy of the copy of the copy and so forth and so on these old copiers, as an example, eventually you end up with a black sheet of paper, and that's it.
Yeah.
Less information. You cannot evolve. You're devolving. There's no way without an external source of adding new information. A mechanism, a mutation is a mechanism for change? No, sir.
Sorry, what?
Well, I'll back up in here and give you the quote.
Only the last sentence, yeah, I missed.
Yeah, and I'm looking for it so I can quote it correctly. There's not a mechanism to add new mechanism. Oh, no, yeah, server guide. There is not a mechanism to add new information to genetic code. He says genetic information. Where was the exactness of what it...
Didn't Jules point us to the new building blocks?
As in?
There was X and Y added. I don't know if Jules is listening, but maybe she can help us. There were some letters added to the gene pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask in chat. ACGT, right? AGCT, those are the letters, right?
I'm not sure. Listen, I'm copying the lobby here. You see why lobby Chitango, and I'm taking that to Real Liberty Media. If you guys over here listening for Moral Truth and Real Liberty Media would like to join the discussion over here at ucy.tv, please do so. That is ucylobby.chitango.com. I'm not so smart, are I?
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe we can Google it.
Oh, here it is. The mechanism is the mutation of the gene. How is that a mechanism, David? And does it, in a sense, and does, in a sense. So let me start from the beginning. The mechanism is the mutation of the gene. The mechanism is quotation marks. And does, in a sense, this is...
Here, I got it.
It
Scientists hope that new generic letters created in the lab will endow DNA with new powers. There have been new letters added to the genetic alphabet. So that would be something influencing it from outside, right?
You're going to have to try to maybe explain that to me a little better again.
Here, it says new letters added to the genetic alphabet. The two new letters are named P and Z and fit seamlessly into existing DNA.
Where did these come from?
They created them in a lab.
Yeah, I remember Jules talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be adding new information.
I would contend that is wrong, that they did not create them, but they merely isolated them and then brought them back into the sequence of the mix. How can you create something? Can you create anything?
I can create a mess.
Yeah. There's your prime example of entropy. If you cleaned your house, locked the doors and walked away and came back 10 years later, there's going to be dust and things are going to be rusting and falling apart. So
yeah, it's the nature of matter that it's not.
It goes from order to disorder.
Well, I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's both. That there is a building and a destruction, right? There has to be some building before you can destroy, right?
That's right.
You can't say everything is always destruction because you would be left with nothing.
Eventually, that's what you'll have is nothing, and this devolves into nothing.
Yeah, but before there is nothing, there has to be something, right?
Yeah, that's the external source.
That has to come from somewhere.
An external source. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, so these two letters are an external source.
No, but they were there somewhere else. They just were able to do some type of, and I don't have the science for this. Jules could explain it rather well. And perhaps she'd join in and I'll shut up and let her tell us what it is that I don't know how to tell. But side note, Hans Dietrich or Danby Cooper is at reallibertymedia.com and cannot get in to the UCY lobby chat. It says,
well, then he
hasn't, let him post.
He probably hasn't listened carefully enough. If anybody's listening, go to UCY, the letters, UCY lobby, LOBBY, chatango.com. Then you should be able to enter.
Yeah, he says he has tried that. He is there, but it will not let him post. Keeps asking for email. Keeps asking for email verification. So, listen, it's not isolated to UCY right now. Skype has been having fits. A lot of people have been getting dumped. I've already been in conversation for a while this morning about problems we're running up against elsewhere too. So, back to the lobby. Let me see here. Jules says, yeah, it was AT, CG, and the new ones were X and Y. Now, Jules is like Hal and you in the beginning for me, and even now, going back to grammar. So when we're speaking with different grammar, we have to learn each other's grammar. So a lot of people have a hard time understanding what Hal says because he is so profound, just as Jules are, just as you are. Wait a minute, Jules says all set. I'm going to have to back up to read that. So I listen to Jules most of the time, twice in the day, to the same. What she says is so hard for the mind to conceive, because it's outside of most of our well, in the end, wisdom, but our logic, I would say. So, anyways, Jules is one of my teachers as well, and she has her number one rule is no excuses. So I find it, even though I'd like to give an excuse, I know it doesn't do any good, so I don't. Let me back up. Jules says it's fine. Something. But let me back up to Miguel, and then I'll come down to the scripts. The scripts researchers chemically created two new nucleotides, which they call X and Y. They inverted an X and a Y pair into the common bacterium, E. coli. E. coli has been used a lot to convey genetic information in gene splicing in this genetically modified foods that we're consuming. So E. coli, and there's another bacteria. They use a bacteria or a virus to do this gene splicing. So anyways, so this is making sense. They inserted, I thought he said inverted, XY pair into the common bacterium, E. coli, the bacteria, were able to reproduce normally, though a bit more slowly than usually, replicating the X and Y along the natural nucleotides. And that comes from NewYorkTimes.com/business researcher report breakthrough in creating artificial genetic code. It would be my contention that they've not created anything, but merely isolated or manipulated that which already existed. You say the two letters are named P and Z, and it fits seamlessly into existing DNA. Howdy, possible suspect. And you have Quantum magazine, and so let me grab both of those, and I'm going to take it to our listeners over at World Truth, Real Liberty Media, and drop that there if you are in. If you see why, TV. All right. If you see why, I see why. Do you see why? Okay, back over here, and I'm going to grab Mike. I'm going to grab yours, and I probably ought to be taking these over to the post over there at World Truth as well. You know what an as well is?
No.
It's deep and dark and stinks.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, I'm going to go to the bottom of the thread. I've not caught up with you guys over at World Truth in your comments. That one's from Miguel. Thank you, Mike. And let me see. This one, Quantum, this is, did I do this one or the other one? And this one is from you. I'll take that back and put it over there. Yeah. QuantumMagazine.org, genetic alphabet. So this is further consideration for your study. And I'm going to close that one, close this one, back to UCY. Let me continue down there. Hi, says Walter. Hi, Walter. There's your
that was
possible suspect. Oh, I know who possible suspect is by this spelling of your name, Walter. What's up? That would be Hans Dietrich R. Danby Cooper. Hi, suspect. Jill says most matter in the universe observes the laws of entropy. Oh, Dusty, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while, brother. I'm glad you're here. That's Anon 37001. He says, most matter in the universe observes the laws of entropy, the one exception being any matter which is alive. Can you quantify that?
Any matter which is alive?
Yeah, but doesn't make sense to me. So Jules says it's all set, Vince. I'm not sure what you mean, Jules. Oh, there's Joe. Welcome, Joe. Once an email verified PIA. Hello, that's fine. Vince, there's Dan. Yes, just how does an acorn become a tree then? Tomato says. And Jules fixed it, Joe. Danka Shane. Jules says Danby Cooper, and he's back. Yes, all you infidels. You are all infidels, and this is your punishment for being pig dogs. Happy Saturday. Thank you, Jules.
Hey, Anon. It looks like Jules is going to fix it. She says,
Yes.
replace this quick in there, so anyone who comes there can find us talking about the chat. If you
Awesome.
just
Yeah.
tuned in, go to UCY, 3 letters, ucylobby.chatango.com if you want to join the rest of the crew. Good morning,
Yes.
everybody.
Joe says happy Saturday, and I say Shabbat Shalom. And that's the Shlomo in me. And you say welcome, happy Saturday. Okay, let me see if I can just work on down to any relevance here. Possible suspect says he thinks he's being profiled, and profiling just wrong because profiled lives do matter after all. Hashtag. Oh, Gage text. How clever. Oh, okay. So I think I'm just going to go on down to the bottom. And so Jules replaced the broken ones with this one on the chat page. Thank you. So I'm going to go back to UCY and I'm going to click to connect. And I'm going to click connect on my Android. And maybe I should just refresh. And I think that's Don D. Cooper dinging me. Yeah, let me just refresh the whole page. I need to open Facebook back up because I've got published up to you last week's, which I had to step out of Game On with Ron Stevens, is coming following you. So I'm going to miss that. I'm going to hear that this time, what I missed last week. I was not out, but I was busy in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Ron Stevens. I'm going to be on with Ron Tuesday night.
Okay.
And I'm going to contact Ammon Bundy and see if it's possible to bring him in. So the topic is going to be the Bundys at Bunkerville, or as I call it, and I didn't originate it, but I am the propaganda panda. Oh, no, paraphrase plagiarist, as well as propaganda panda. Hashtag the Battle of Bunkerville. I thought that was quite clever. So that will be our topic of discussion Tuesday night. Ron Stevens, Game On, UCY.TV. And like I said, I'm going to contact Ammon Bundy and see if I can't get him in to fill in the gaps of the knowledge that I do not have. All right, Ben. What was Jill saying about 2 or 3? Look, buddy, you're there now, so that question is mute. Did I get a refresh at UCY? Oh, that was me saying that like clever, but nope, I'm sorry, I'm not. But I am at UCY lobby chat.
All right.
All right, back to where we were.
Yeah. I got this open, and it will lead to a question I have for you. It says here, this is an exploration site about creation evolution controversy. And this is where most of the people will think of when we talk about evolution is Darwin, of course. And it's on the species, the origin of species by means of natural selection. But the title continues, and it goes, or, right? So you can take both of them, or the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life. Right? So many people probably never heard of that. And the first time I heard it, I was astonished as well. I was like, okay. And this is by Charles Darwin. So the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life seems to me racist. I don't know how you...
It is very racist. And, you know, by that same reasoning, they went down and killed Aboriginal Australians for their skulls. They were not considered to be... They were subhuman. Just like the Jew haters will say that these Jews consider us to be goyim, nothing more than mere cattle. So, it's okay to shear your sheep and cut their throat and consume their flesh. Darwin's book entitled The Descent of Man confirms de-evolution and not evolution.
Okay.
So
But there is a page about arguments against creationism. Okay, fine. Not wanting to go into that right now because my question had more to do with what seems to be this page to index to creationist claims. And you would expect there some arguments for creationism, right? But all that I see under the section philosophy and theology is evolution is a foundation of immoral worldview, right? And they're talking about crime rates, and they're talking about evolution is racist, like we just said. They're talking about Darwin himself was a racist. They're talking about Hitler basing his views on Darwinism, and all kinds of views against evolution. But no, I don't, not on first glance, find any arguments for creationism. Do you know any of them?
I know quite a bit. And ask me a specific question, I'll bet you I can answer it. And this is where my wisdom comes in from Trivium. Thank you, Walter. And or you can be blamed a great deal of my what I have to say on you. So if you don't like what I'm saying, blame Walter.
No way. You're responsible.
You're the one who
for your own
introduced
words,
me to the
man.
Trivium, Walter. As I evolved in my communication, I found that I was entering the Trivium method of understanding, even though I didn't even know what it was. Also, I had been practicing mostly nonviolent communication.
Yeah.
I don't always do so, and sometimes I think, thank you, Grammy Mary, it's good just to let the dogs loose, Yeah.
All right. So, in creationism, what exactly are we talking about? Are we talking about the different forms that life manifests itself in, or are we talking about the origin of the universe, or what's going on?
See, these are the different types of supposed evolution, like I said earlier, between biological evolution to that of the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
There's the micro, the macro, and so forth. So specifically, you give me a question then about creation as far as being a Bible, and I'm over here doing posts as I'm talking and distracting myself. There we go. Game on. Ron Stevens. I really like Ron. And he's on tonight, by the way. We're simulcasting Ron from some other network over Canada Live. So tune in tonight.
What time?
Canada Live is.
What time is he on?
It is at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight.
10 p.m.
Ron Stevens.
Eastern time. Check it out, guys.
That's correct. UCY.TV News. Tune in. And he'll be live again Sunday with Game On here tomorrow, which will be following Shawley. So tomorrow morning we have Jeff Wefferson replays. I have to translate, and I do a terrible job of converting my timetable. So I'm going to go with Central Time. In the evening, ain't we got fun? Right here at UCY.TV. So in the morning at 7 Central Time, we start off with this morning's replay of Jeff Wefferson, followed by a brand new Aurora with, oh my God, sorry, the birth of a new dimension. I'm going to have to recall here. Then we have Shawley, another great guy. I love Shawley. He's played a big role in developing my development as well. You know what? UCY.TV has been an integral part. And Jules is like, don't be blaming me for what you are. I love you, Spite. And it has been an integral part of my education. Well, man, I want to tell you what. You cannot find a better site to go to for credible people to speak on issues. Brandon Turberville, there's the list is well, it does have an end, but it will have a continuation. So let's see here. Today, let me go ahead and run it off. Today, next, following you is Game On. Last week's Game On with Ron Stevens, followed by Nuclear Hot Seat with Liv Halavy. Then following is this week's Geoengineering Watch with Dane Wigington, and followed by Unlock the Door with Michael Cross. Go to michaelcross.net. A very, very intelligent man. He's guested with and had as his guest Dr. George Simon, who's on Sundays here at UCY as well. Okay, following that is Truth on the Tracks. Brandon Turberville. There you go. And I'm thinking that's maybe just from the archives. I'm not sure if that's a replay from Monday's live, our first broadcast, which replays Friday nights. Brandon Turberville, following by Alan Watt, Cutting Through the Matrix. Then Tim Kelly, Our Interesting Times, and Sovereignty. Brian is at 8 p.m. And then we have the Canada Live with Ron Stevens, followed by Shlomo's, the Shaliak, the Shali Lama with Cold Reality Radio, replaced 12 a.m. Eastern time. So I was going to begin those times in Central and changed up altogether, didn't I? So is what I'm doing now is cutting that out and handing you back the mic for a minute while I catch up a couple of publications here.
All right. Yeah, I'm not so very good at that. You know, I got a Facebook account, but the last time I've been there is like months ago or so.
Yeah, you never come over there, so I don't even bother sharing your post over there. But you know what? I never do. I almost never cast my pearls before swine.
Huh.
And I'm not calling you guys pigs at Facebook.
No, it just sounds
it's
like
Facebook
that.
Yeah, it's Facebook is the pig that I'm calling out here. I put lipstick on it and call it a pig. But anyways, they censor so much about what is seen by people.
Oh.
So, you know, I'm not going to waste my time in sharing information that is going to be thwarted. I hate to redo stuff more than anything. I hate to do something that has no effect. And that's why I went to worldtruth.org. That's the exact reason. No censor. Look, and you can come on my page and call me an idiot all you want to. And most of the times I'm going to be nonviolent in my response. But today is just not your day if that's what you're hoping for.
Yeah. Grimmer is also in the chat, I think.
Grimner, welcome.
Yeah.
He's the curator of RealLibertyMedia.com. Friends of Jules. We used to carry the Freakers Ball. I think Brian's Grim coincidentally.
That still runs, right? Freakers Ball. I hear repetition sometimes.
Yeah. Not on UCY. We were simulcasting now, but with Moose Girl. In T-Ways.
So
Okay.
we were at me asking you a question, right?
Yeah, ask away.
So what's the definition then of creationism?
That means that there is a source outside of existence that brought into being that which we know.
Yeah, I think you're getting a call.
I wonder who that could be. Shall we put him alive on the radio?
No, better not.
You don't want to?
No, I don't
Hello.
think maybe the person
What's
that's
up?
calling doesn't want to, you know. So.
I'm talking on the radio. Would you like to say something?
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. I'll put it up to the mic. Yeah, listen. This is my good friend from Vegas out here. We met at Bunkerville. I met a lot of great folks out there, real people, and this is one of them. John 2, I call him. Say hello. Wait, let me put the speaker up. Just say hi, John.
Nope.
And you guys can hear him because I got my phone up. You can't hear him?
No.
Try again, John.
Nothing.
Okay, well, they couldn't hear you for some reason. It wasn't translating. I don't have a speaker on this phone. All right. Hi, Margaret. Hey, I'm going to get off here and go back to radio. Walter's got a question. Yes, listen, you tell all your friends to tune in to UCY.TV right now, or you hate me and you hate kittens and puppies and God. If you don't tell all your friends to tune in to UCY.TV right now, that means you hate me, you hate God, kittens, and puppy dogs, and sunshine, and rainbows, and unicorns. All right, you better go tune in right now.
Yeah.
UCY.TV, and that will take you right there to the landing homepage. You can go to the right and click on UCY. No. Hey.
Yeah.
That's right. He loves God, so he's going to tune into UCY. If you hate God...
That's okay.
Okay, talk to you, John. Call me back later, brother. Bye. Okay, thank you, Walter. That was fun.
Yeah. So, but the definition of creation, I caught like something existing outside, and then what?
No, creation would mean that there's a creator. Look at it like a watch, okay?
Okay.
And this I freely plagiarize because I am the paraphrase plagiarist. The blind watchmaker. Let's say you were walking along the beach, right? And you found a watch. Would you assume that was just created by the rolling of the tide, the washing of the waves, and the combination of all these bits and pieces that exist from minerals from the sea and washed up into a watch? Or if a tornado went through a junkyard and created a 747 by its a path of destruction? What? No. Somebody obviously made something that is. You don't have something without it having been created, right? So a creator, a creationist doesn't necessarily mean that you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or
No.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It just means that you believe that there's an outside force that created that which is. And what is that which we perceive and conceive. Jose's online. He was on with me yesterday.
Yeah, I heard you with him. It was a pretty nice radio, except for your voice, which is still no good.
That's not on my end. That's on the internal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because here you're fine.
Yeah, but c'est la vie. The information's there. If not, and as Hal told me, we had a very long conversation last week. Spoke for about 3.5, 4 hours, and we did that because he's not on Skype. So what we did, we facilitated our conversation through Firefox, the look button there, and it's kind of like Skype, I guess. You can communicate audibly, or also you can add your camera and look one another in the face. But as Al said, that it is important to have good sound quality because people are turned off and not want to listen, and then that's true. But nonetheless, Flash and I decided when we don't put any demands upon one another. This will come about as it comes about, and as we can correct things, and so be it. So I'm not going to let that stop me from archiving the information that I wish to leave behind. So when I started out in the internet, I said, yeah, what I'm doing, I want it to be there forever, and forever's not always forever after all, since these algorithms and whatnot can take you away. One button can kill.
There are a couple of creationist creationist mythologies about how this all happened. Right? I believe the Norse have their own, and the Indians have their own, and I think Germanic people may have had their own account of how the world came to be. The Maya had their own way of explaining how creation came to be. And a lot of them indeed refer to some kind of, as it is put here in the definition, divine creation, right? Would you agree with this definition of creationism?
I will I will
Sorry?
agree with my definition as to my understanding of creation, and
Yeah,
I will give that if you will. I believe that God is eternal and eternally creating. I
yeah,
would assume by that there would be no beginning and no end to creation.
yeah,
Uh, but I have two different aspects to what I think what it is that where we're at.
yeah,
One is that, and I'll back up and premise this, that we exist in a quarantine section, whether it be in an eternity of universes within our universe, within, let's just look at it as a world within the solar system. Okay, I would say our universe exists inside whatever is beyond that universe.
yeah,
Continual creation. Now, either that in its entirety is in quarantine or isolation,
yeah,
or uh, our perception of the perceived universe is actually. And look, let me go out on a limb here, and I'll just say that I think that we live inside a containment that is non-escapable, and I'm going to define that just for shits and giggles as a flat, global, hollow Earth that's encompassed by some type of containment field. How's that?
yeah. So, but it seems like in both scenarios we're stuck.
Yeah. And then let me back up and premise this. And this is from what some people call the Bible.
The what?
The Bible, buying bull, as in buying bullshit. You believe
Ah,
that this
okay.
book is a divine revelation of God, the Bible, or biblioteca, the word, so on. There's a lot of definitions that I won't go into right now. This is my contention that um, being God existed forever, and through His creation, He created these different beings, angels, whatever you want to call them, Nephilim. There's a lot of words for these beings as well, and that
Yeah.
watchers, whatever. So, at the time that which we exist in came into creation, this great controversy come to air, and that was that God is wrong, and Lucifer was indeed correct in his assertion that God is wrong and that one should do as one will.
Mm-hmm.
My contention is what God is love, and that is to do no wrong, to harm another, not to steal. Right?
Yeah.
So when we take a life, thank you, Circline. You gave a very good explanation of this for me. When we steal, either by theft of property, theft of life, and
theft.
that could be very broad based. Yeah. So theft
Yeah.
is sin. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So the devil says we ought to be able to do what we will. God says no. You exist within the confines of non-theft. So now, if God had said, okay, you're wrong and you're a really bad influence around here and I'm going to kill you, do away with you forever, then the rest of creation would say, look, this evil God here, we can't dare, say, no, he ain't right because he's going to kill us. So what I say happened is God said, okay, I say that we're judging God. Now, this is existence of history will be in the very end an examination, a judgment of God. Is he right or is the devil right? So this is how I see it. Make any sense?
Well, yeah, I can see what you mean.
So if you want to be happy, go kill a Muslim or a Jew, or if you're a Muslim or a Jew, kill a Christian. If that's what makes you happy, because they're different than you, and they don't believe like you do. So let's go steal their essence and kill them. All right. Or we can say, look, you have the right to self-determination through your free will. Do as you will, as long as you're not committing theft against me or anybody else, or creation, or not only just people, but also these mad scientists gone mad. They're stealing from that which is, and they're trying to recreate it in their own image. And this is this is what the devil, I think, that's his plan.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I say. You can call me an idiot for saying, and I don't call myself a Christian, first of all, but I do believe in the precepts of Christ. So I don't guess I have a label for myself. I'm of the non-label label.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
I intend on starting a movement just as soon as I can come up with a good name for it.
Yeah. All right. So, what then do you get out of all these creation myths? Do you use them in any way, or are they
Yes,
irrelevant?
they are relevant, and here comes this that is always said that there's a similarity in all these religions with the 12 apostles, the 12 from the Egypt and Babylon, and all these. And you have spoken of this quite eloquently as well. So, also into the 12 signs of the zodiac. Matter of fact, I've been trying to find this video for a very long time. It's quite amazing with the stars, as far as in the constellations. They tell this very same story of time through eternity of our existence, the existence of what is here today for us to observe, at least as far back as possible. But that with all these similarities, okay, one might call some counterfeit. But in order to be counterfeited, there has to be an original. So I think one might find in any one of these dogmas a truth. And I don't know who Aaron Scott is, but they sent me a contact request on Skype. And if I don't know you, not that I have anything against Russian hookers or whoever you are, but Skype's serious business for being able to network with people. And I don't do corn anyways. And I do like peas and corn, but I don't do internet porn.
All right, this floated off into something extreme.
I'm easily distracted, but definitely not easily dissuaded. I'm easily distracted, but not dissuaded.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think that there is a certain amount of all these different whatever legends, stories, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They can all, of course, be traced back to an original telling of this.
That's what I suspect. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, and because of the fallacies of man and their interpretation, they're telling it as they would. You know, it's just you tell the story and it's passed on down the line. The telling gets to be told differently, and but basically, going back through grammar, if you trace it back, you know, you can see the origins and the commonality. So, I think there is an original, and I think it's authentic, and that is that God is good, God is love, and the contention that He is wrong because of people's not under. I'll go back to the beginning. People have this idea that they know what the Bible says, and they're actually parroting. Parrot people. That's what we are. Me, you, everybody else. We parrot. So we're retelling that which has been told by others without actual study of the grammar. Very important, and something I was using before that unknowingly before I had it put into definition by you, but the grammar is there and it's telling a story, and it has changed down through time. But if you go back in and you look at the actual grammar, follow it with your logic and on into your wisdom to be able to express that which it is you have examined. And that's what I hope I am doing, and I'm probably not doing a very good job a lot of times, but nonetheless, it is a continuing education for all of us. And when you get stuck in your dogma, and I see a lot of it, by most people, matter of fact, then you're an idiot. Right along with me. You're an idiot.
All right. So yeah, I've studied some of these creation mythologies, and I think they're interesting. The problem that I have with it is that it gets personified, right? That this first cause, so to speak, becomes human-like in like Greek mythology and Indian mythology, and I think that we cannot take this literally. That there has to be some other way of looking at these stories when they would make more sense. Would you agree?
Yes, I think I would.
All right. So one way of looking at these stories and the persons being promoted in there is like what you said in the beginning also, is to compare them with constellations in the air. I think it was one of your guests that had a video, that has a video up on YouTube where he explains the story of Adam and Eve and the apple and the snake as being a motion of the constellation snake for one, and Virgo was another, and the third one was a man whose name I forget in the constellation. And he shows how the movement of these constellations is an exact copy of the story of Adam and Eve and the snake and the apple. Did you see that video, or have you ever heard of such a thing?
No, I'm not calling it the top of my head right now. I don't know if you got a link. I'll be.
Oh, I will go and find that link for you.
All right.
Yeah, I will write this down as a to-do, and I will do that. And let's see. Link. A constellation. Constellation. Mythology. Yeah. Yeah, I think either you had him as a guest or even me. I'm not exactly sure.
I brought him in with you.
Sorry,
what?
what?
Right here on Solvinur Event. Yeah,
Christopher Stefanik, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it might have been him. I'm not sure, but that could be. Yeah. But I'll try to find that and link that to you later. We've got like a couple of minutes left, Vince.
Uh-huh.
So why don't you let us know where people can hear you?
Well, I'm going to finish up another round of 5 days next week at World Truth, Real Liberty Media. I have lined up for my guest Tuesday. I left open for Ron. He can't make it, so I've got to fill that yet. Yeah, Larry Woods comes back Monday. Tuesday's open yet, but I've got ideas there. Daryl Becker, Voluntary Visions, is Wednesday. PM Beer is a wonderful person. One who she's left-leaning liberal, but I don't hold that against her. She joins me Thursday. I met her out at the Bundys in Bunkerville. She's an incredible person. She's standing in the front lines, live streaming. She's at all these protests and all this and that. Been down on the border at L.A., San Diego, Bunkerville. She's been around a whole lot of places. She was arrested and charged for obstruction and other things. Her verdict, I need to catch up with her. I think her verdict came out this week, or will be the first of the week. She's one of my heroes. That's it. Love and peace. Thanks. Thank you, Walter.
You're welcome, Vince. Thanks for joining me. And that's my outro. I can hear coming in. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Everybody that found the chat at ucylobby.chatango.com. Anon, Dan, Grimmer, Joe, Jules, Possible Suspect, myself, Tomato, and Vince. And one Anon. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll be back next week. Take care, y'all.
to create, so to say, mass-produced models of human beings arranged in some kind of a